Well, good morning. How are you folks doing? Hope you're having a great start to your day. And I can't wait to say hello. Okay, let's see who's first up here. Here we go. Mike from Norland. Brahim, number 2 from Portland, Oregon. Rosalinda, number 3 from Niagara Falls. Donna, good morning. Rosa and Nativity. Renee, good morning. Minus 33 in Sudbury. Holy moly. Sandra, good morning. Aurelia, Kevin, Oshawa, Nick from our staff, right in Sudbury. Annette, good morning. New Brunswick, 33 below. Whoosh! Dorita, Manitoba. Bernice, Wendy, Markham, good morning. Lori, good morning. Jocelyn from Baxter. Lynn, Halifax. And Frances Marie, good morning. Jeanette, bonjour. And IT, Unionville. Georgie, Halifax. Jeanette from our staff. Marin, Nicole, good morning. And Marianne, good morning. Fran, Orangeville, how are you, Fran? Zian, our dear friend. And Jean Pruneveau, good morning. Zian, there's a lot of Zians this morning. Bill, good morning. Deb from Timmins, it must be 50 below in Timmins. Cornell, good morning. Lan, Alberta. Sherry, Francis from Vaughan. Reg, Nellie, Calgary, Alberta. We love you. Glenna, Mara, Michelin, Sturgeon Falls. Lise, Lori, good morning. Couple more. Janet, Sue Lookout. Well, good morning, Sue Lookout. Lucy, good morning. Ruth from Zambia. Holy moly, I bet you it's not 30 below there. Bon matin. And good day to you guys. Okay, let's get going. I want to talk. I'm going to tell you a little story first, and then we're going to get into leaky gut today. Okay? So here's the story. First of all, yesterday I was talking to a doctor. Okay, so we had a nice chat yesterday afternoon. This doctor's going through some major health issues, and I forgot to even ask him how he got on to me. But somehow he contacted me, and I was happy to talk to him. Couple of things. I was shocked. I should never be shocked. Well, I was surprised. Again, how little they know about autoimmune. Because that was his problem, an autoimmune disorder. And I talked to him about leaky gut. And I talked to him about a protocol that would be very, very helpful for him. And so we had a good conversation. I was trying to explain the process of leaky gut. How does that happen? And I talked about, there's a lot of things or a lot of symptoms, like they're sort of hidden. Because as soon as you say the word gut to 99% of the population, leaky gut. As soon as the word gut comes in, right away people think, well, I don't have digestive symptoms. Or even if I do, what's that got to do with autoimmune? And I had to go back to the basics and teach. Guys, listen. Your blood, okay? The Bible is 100% true about blood. Okay, because it says the life of the flesh or the life of the body is in blood. You can't live without it. Impossible. Your life is in the blood. And your blood has red blood cells bringing you oxygen. And you got platelets in your blood. And you have white blood cells in your blood. And, it brings nutrition to every cell in your body. That's the river of life. You guys understand that. So you got that? And so when you hear the word leaky gut, think of leaky gut equals garbage blood. You see, your blood should be pristine. Water, okay? It has a direct route to your blood, by the way. Unlike food, okay? Because your food has to be micro-sized. Your food has to be digested. The nutrients into your stomach, even right from your mouth, but your stomach is so key for your nutrition because your stomach, it mulches your food. The acidity in your stomach is there for a reason. Okay, so, but all of that is done before food ever gets transported. It's all broken down into amino acids, into proteins that you need, and vitamins you need, and minerals you need, and macros you need, okay? And then it gets transported in little packages, okay? Pristine from your brain to your toes. So, autoimmune, like if someone, for example, has eczema, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, okay? All these autoimmune, polymyalgia rheumatica, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. And, what happens, it's like the liver. What happens in the liver, it's not Las Vegas. It doesn't stay there. What happens in your liver is going to create havoc in the rest of your body. What happens in your gut has a potential to go everywhere in your body because you have a barrier there. You have a barrier between your blood and your gut. And nothing, you're never supposed to have garbage in your blood. Never parasites. If you see parasite in the stool, well, that's where it belongs. Like people used to tell me, well, Doc, I had a stool analysis done and I got a parasite in there. Okay, that's really where parasites belong. They belong in the toilet. That's where bacteria belong, in the toilet. Okay? Viruses, your body knows how to get rid of them. In the toilet. Toxins, in the toilet. Okay? That's where they belong. They don't belong in your blood. Your blood is pristine. Okay? Now you have in your gut a battle in there. It's a constant war. They're, good and bad bacteria. Autoimmune, all of them, autoimmune. Is it really an autoimmune disease? I believe it is. Parkinson's, MS, we talked about that. You know, they're talking about the Epstein-Barr virus now being the actual cause of MS. I say, well, Epstein-Barr might be present, but it isn't the cause. And leaky gut is not easy to fix. It's simple, but it's not easy because you got to rebuild the border. The border between your gut and your blood. And so, you know, I was thinking today, and I'm going to give you a lot of these things are cognitive. So what am I suspicious of that would say, you know what, I think I have leaky gut? Okay? What am I suspicious of? Ladies, if you get a chronic, recurring UTI, that's leaky gut. 100% of the time. You might think it's bacterial, but I will remind you that it really isn't bacteria. Yes, bacteria might be present. You might have an E. coli there in your bladder. But that's not what caused you to get the recurring urinary tract infection. It's leaky gut, leaky bladder. Now listen to these possible other symptoms, okay? Now remember, your blood goes everywhere. What affects your blood is whether it's pristine or not. Like Tony says, Dad, Tony Jr., Dad, poop don't belong in the blood. How come you see it in blood? Well, yeah, it should have been in the toilet. It's actually in your bloodstream at a microscopic level. Okay, so it's really, really important to know that, okay? Now, what are some of the symptoms? For example, whenever I had a patient that had migraines, yeah. Whenever I had a patient with migraines, you got problems. And it starts in your gut. Now there's hormonals, there's too much estrogen a lot of times, especially in women. You know, estrogen is a problem. It's dominant, but you got leaky gut. You better fix that gut. You better fix that barrier. You better fix that border. Insomnia, heartburn, we talked about it. Acidity. The acidity is wrong. How does that affect leaky gut? Big time. It's, you know, what comes first? Those are big issues. Skin, anything on your skin, psoriasis, acne, eczema, anything on your skin. It's amazing today how many skin conditions there are. Fatigue, brain fog, mood issues, headaches, I talked about, hormonal issues, joint pain, cravings, any autoimmune. Those are the big things. Those are the big things. The immune system attacks itself. Because what happens is that when food comes into the small intestine, the body says, oh yeah, that's good for me. Okay, so now come here. You can come through. But if that barrier is broken, your body sees things coming in that ordinarily wouldn't bother it. And they overreact to it. That's what autoimmune is. They create an enormous amount of inflammation. Have you ever had a virus? Oh, you get inflammation, you feel terrible. Everything is stuffed up and whatever. Well, that happens inside the gut because they are recognizing, okay, so all I'm saying is, okay, you need to understand that. Understand how it works, okay? So the big question, how does it happen, okay? So there's a lot of things, like you know me, and I always talk about this, and when I talked to that doctor yesterday, a long history of antibiotics. One of the greatest causes of leaky gut. Secondly, bad food, sugar, feeding the bears, feeding candida. Everybody has a little bit of yeast, everybody. You have some in your mouth, a small amount. You got a small amount in your gut. It's actually, when it's in a small amount, is on your side. Okay? It's on your side. Until it grows. And it grows, and it's not good. Yeast, fungus. It permeates the body. It travels through the bloodstream, found in the brain to your toes. You've seen toe fungus. Why is that dangerous? Why is toe fungus dangerous? Because it ain't just in your toes. If it gets in your bloodstream, ooh, okay? So, anyway, one of the biggest things, and I was talking to him about probiotics. Now, probiotics actually rebuild that little barrier there, okay? It rebuilds the barrier. It stops garbage from coming into your bloodstream. It stops that. It rebuilds the lining. Okay? The good border guards. You need that. And I was talking to him because he said, well, I eat a lot of fermented foods. Okay, yeah, fermented foods. Okay, like kombucha, whatever you call it, okay? Fermented foods, right? Like yogurt, and somebody was putting on our website the thought of sauerkraut. Okay, somebody actually posted that. Sauerkraut. That I think it was a nutritionist or whatever said, that beats a probiotic every time. You know what? You ain't fixing leaky gut with sauerkraut. Now, sauerkraut, do I like that? Do I like fermented foods? Yes, I do. Okay? The problem with most yogurts, by the way, they're man-made. Okay, they add stuff. There's a lot of sugar in most of them. If you're going to take a Greek plain yogurt, I got no problem with that. Okay, but don't take it for bacteria. Take it for, don't ditch the dairy, switch the dairy. Okay, like dairy's got, I talked about this yesterday, CLA. It's so good for you. Okay. Probiotics need to be broad spectrum. What does that mean by that? Well, you got to have at least 10 different strains of bacteria. I was telling them, I said, for autoimmune, when you have a fungus, I said, I guarantee you got a fungal infection. Guarantee it. Because of your symptoms. Leaky gut, leaky lungs. He had leaky skin. He had leaky brain. He had leaky joints because he had an autoimmune, even joint problem. I mean, the guy was a mess. I said, but you need to start in your gut. You must rebuild that barrier that was destroyed years ago. And, you know, you don't get sick immediately, but over a period of time when your blood is not pristine, garbage in your blood, especially yeast. Yeast is the worst. Fungus is the worst. It's like having mold in your house. It releases toxins within the bloodstream. Very damaging. You don't croak right away. You don't die right away. Your body's unreal. It'll do everything it can to get rid of it. But you got to help it. And you need broad spectrum probiotics. I'm sorry. Like, fermented foods are good, but they're not therapeutic for that. You need therapy, therapeutic doses. And I tell people, look, this might take you a year to fix this. Don't feed yeast. Don't feed the bears. And you better take care of yourself. This is autoimmune. You know, there's certain, you know, like for example, L. rhamnosus, okay? Whenever you see L. rhamnosus, rhamnosus is the strain, and then you have the tribe, okay? Lactobacillus. Oh, I hate Latin. I always hated Latin. But whenever you have lactobacillus, okay, rhamnosus, that goes literally, not only helps to build the barrier, but it will attack yeast. L. reuteri, Lactobacillus reuteri. It's one of the reasons I choose it for our probiotics. It's our special blend. Guess what? It goes after, attacks, not only viruses, not only bacteria, but yeast, fungus. Okay? That's really, really important that you know that. Okay? So when you take a yogurt, okay, it's good for you. It's good for your gut. I got no problem with that, as long as it's got no sugar in it. No sugar. Okay? Now, there's a little bit of sugar in yogurt, even plain. By nature, there's some lactose in there. Okay? But I got no problem if you like yogurt. Okay? I don't care. As long as it don't put fruit, you know, don't let them put fruit in it. Don't let the food industry make your yogurt in that sense. Like anything that's added to it is garbage. Okay? Terrible. Don't eat it. It used to be the number one, it may be still today, the number one choice of women in Canada was yogurt in the morning. Because they thought they were going to get the skinny belly. Remember those advertisements? You know, they had a woman with the, you know, showing her belly. And you'll get skinny with yogurt. I don't know where that came from. You don't get skinny with yogurt. Anyway. But all I'm saying is you need to fix it. You need to fix that barrier. Any autoimmune, you got, look, it's one of the seeds of disease in our society today. And it just astounds me that I had to take a physician and teach him that. Because he said, well, we never learned that in medical school, not even for 5 seconds. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know. And it's sad. It's sad. Okay? And anyways, it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? I'm not against, like, even pickles are, you know, it's fermented food. It's good for you. I like pickles. Okay? But it's not therapeutic. It's good, but it's not therapeutic. You need therapy if you have leaky gut. And like I say, for some people, you know, it takes a lot longer for them to completely clear it up. You know, and that's why I love the reset, because food-wise, when you're eating the reset, one thing you're not doing is feeding candida. 100%. You're repairing the gut. I love bone broth too, by the way. Bone broth has a lot of L-glutamine, and that helps to repair the lining of the gut, okay? It's repair, but it won't, bone broth doesn't kill yeast. Probiotics do. Our candida formula does, okay? It kills, but you gotta kill it. Don't feed it and kill it. Some things have to be put out of their misery, and you gotta help out in that sense, okay? Now, probiotics are not just for digestive health, so just remember that, okay? Yes, they help with digestion. There was a study that I looked at a couple of days ago where one of the best things for chronic constipation is probiotics, because there's certain bacteria. There's certain bacteria, acidophilus, for example, okay? Lactobacillus acidophilus, okay, is very good for peristalsis, they said. What's peristalsis? Ooh, Latin. Peristalsis is the movement, the little hairs inside your gut that moves feces along, okay? And that can be slowed up by your thyroid. It can be slowed up by a lack of water. And some women, especially, it doesn't always happen in women. Ladies, I don't mean to pick on you, okay? Because men, we're big babies. I can't talk to you. No, I'm just teasing too. I love to tease, okay? So guys, remember that, okay? Remember. Leaky gut, leaky brain. Leaky gut, leaky skin. Leaky gut, leaky lungs. Leaky gut, leaky sinuses. Leaky gut, leaky bladder. Okay? Just remember that. Leaky gut, leaky joints. So often. Now, I talk to you about, you know, joints can be affected by caramelization, by what sugar does. And then you get a double whammo. Because if you have yeast, it'll travel to your joints. As long as it can get in the bloodstream, and it should never, never be allowed. It's, you know what yeast is? Yeast is a persona non grata. You know what I mean by that? Yeah. You're not welcome. You can't come into blood. You can be in the gut a little bit, but don't come inside the blood. If you don't have enough friendly bacteria to stop that, you're in trouble. And it's a slow leak. It's not a, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow leak. Okay? And that's what happens. You need to fix that. Like even in depression, it's amazing. Dr. McEwen and I talk about this. The gut-brain relationship. How you have leaky gut and your hormones get messed up and your feel-good hormones get messed up. You gotta look at that. You gotta look at that. You have to look at the body holistically. It's essential. Okay? So, you got the memo? I had to tell you the story just because it always surprises me how little mainstream medicine understands this. It surprises me. It shouldn't surprise me, but it does. It's almost shocking that I have to teach at such a, like it's almost like going back to elementary school. Now, you guys are way ahead of the curve. I want to tell you that. Because you understand leaky gut. And you understand the teaching. It's not that complicated. Your immune system will turn on itself because of having a barrier there that has been compromised. And that's what happens in autoimmune. It starts in the gut, all of it. Now, you got to do other things because you're creating a lot of inflammation. You want to be able to stop that. That's why I love, not only therapeutic probiotics and killing the yeast and getting rid of the candida and making sure that's all gone, but you got to repair too. You got to repair. You got to repair that gut. Seal the leak. Okay? Seal the leak. It's really important to do that. Otherwise, you're on the Titanic. You better fix the leak. Somebody said to me yesterday or the day before, he doesn't talk about the Titanic anymore. I don't. It's one of my favorite stories. You're on the Titanic. Quit arranging the deck chairs. Turn the ship around. Get on the reset. Make sure you're taking probiotics. Broad spectrum. Okay? Got it? Okay, you got the memo. Okay, guys. We love you. Hey, by the way, it's my wife's birthday today. So you make sure you wish her a happy birthday. Okay? And we appreciate you guys very, very much. So we'll talk to you soon.